June 6th, 2007. 16 years ago to this very day, the Anaheim Ducks were leading 3-1 in the 2007 Stanley Cup Final. In a moment of glory, at the moment of greatness, in the 14th year of the Anaheim Ducks' existence in the NHL. The Anaheim Ducks won 6-2, winning the first ever Stanley Cup. Goals were scored by Andy McDonald, Rob Niedermayer, Travis Moe with 2 goals, Francois Beauchemin, and Corey Perry. Assists by the Anaheim Ducks players: Ryan Getzlaf, Chris Pronger, Corey Perry, Andy McDonald, Scott Niedermayer, and Samuel Poulsen. With Ducks legendary goalie Jean-Sébastien Giguère in net. 17,372 at full capacity, watched with a bated breath, taking in, seeing, listening, with each minute, each hour, from the first period, second period, and third period, until the buzzards sound, until it was official. The Anaheim Ducks won the series, the Stanley Cup Final, 4-1, completing, after 14 years back then, of all the blood, sweat, and tears, and overcoming adversity, to achieve hockey immortality. Those 17,372 Anaheim Ducks fans, and those around the world wide, in Orange County, California, in the city of Anaheim, in the USA, in Canada, Finland, Sweden, and of course here in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada, witness with joy, cry tears of joy, to see a team with a funny name claim hockey's greatest prize and taste hockey immortality. It is important to remember this great moment. The 2007 Stanley Cup champion Anaheim Ducks, witnessing this day of great victory, as I coined it on the Anaheim Ducks Message Board, was life-changing, motivating, inspiring, and a sight to behold. To see players like Ducks legend Teemu Selanne win his first Stanley Cup, hoisting it over his head. Seeing Ducks captain Scott Niedermayer historically accepting the Stanley Cup championship trophy as it was passed from player to player. From Ducks legend Teemu Selanne, Andy McDonald, Ducks legendary goalie J.S. Giguère, Ryan Getzlaf, Corey Perry, Andy McDonald, and Ilya Bryzgalov, and many more. It forever changed us all, and changed us forever. It was the gold standard being cemented, etched in place forever. For this Stanley Cup victory 16 years ago, it effectively, permanently made the Anaheim Ducks part of the city's heritage and Orange County culture in Southern California, in the sports heritage. It put ice hockey in the map, cementing the sport as part of the culture of Orange County, California. The impact of the Ducks Stanley Cup win was symbolic all the way down to the grassroots level. It inspired a young Cam York to take up skates and play the sport of hockey. We remember these players. We remember them, appreciate them. We reflect on the contributions they have made to the Ducks cause. All Ducks fans were with this team since day one. And to see the Stanley Cup being raised and the final buzzard sound, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The roar of the crowd got louder, louder, and louder, as if you celebrated, all of us celebrated, after years of blood, sweat, and tears of being mocked and name-called and trolled online and insulted as a joke of hockey. The Anaheim Ducks achieved it all. And it set the gold standard and expectations for future editions of players to suit up for the Anaheim Ducks and advance the Ducks cause. The players on this team contributed to the Ducks' regular season record of 48 wins, 20 losses, 14 other losses, 110 points. Each name we remembered well. From the goaltenders, Ilya Bryzgalov, Sebastian Caron, Ducks legendary goalie, Jean-Sébastien Giguère. The defense core of the Ducks, Francois Beauchemin, Joe DePenta, Kent Huskins, Rick Jackman, Scott Niedermayer, Sean O'Donnell, Chris Pronger, and Aaron Rome. To the Anaheim Ducks forwards was a mix of youth and experience, like those in the defense core and the goaltending depth. Ryan Carter, Ryan Getzlaff, Mark Hartigan, Chris Knutz, Todd Marchand, Brad May, Andy McDonald, Drew Miller, Travis Moen, Joe Matsko, Rob Niedermayer, Samuel Paulson, George Peros, Dustin Penner, Corey Perry, Ducks legend Teemu Selanne, Ryan Shannon, and Sean Thornton. Each player, each one of them, played a big part in the Anaheim Ducks winning the Stanley Cup and achieving the day of great victory. It seemed like yesterday, each year when June 6th rolls around. That victory, that moment, that joy, when the buzzards sound, it was almost like every moment, every low that we experienced all those years ago washed away. For all Ducks fans who witnessed that great moment, The day of great victory, as I call it. There was something special. For me, growing up in the East Coast of Canada, for someone who, like you, grew up with this hockey team, even though I was on the East Coast, I remember from 1993 to 2007, each moment when I always wake up to see the highlights of whether or not the Mighty Ducks Anaheim Ducks would win or lose. It was when I was able to see this team, watch it on TV. It was something special for me. When the clock started counting down from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I jumped up for joy. The Anaheim Ducks, to me, was more than just an escape. I grew up with this team, like most of you. And when Scott Niedermayer raised the Stanley Cup over his hand at the Honda Center, I cried tears of joy. It was almost like everything was worth it. Back then, as it now, the Anaheim Ducks persevered over adversity. That victory, as I call the day of great victory, was something I will remember. I will be inspired and motivated, like all Ducks fans, for years to come. June 6th, 2007 was a highlight, but also was the crowning achievement of glory for the Anaheim Ducks. Now and always forever.